Hello, I'm Isabel with High Tech Design Safety, here with the presentation for you on NRTL certification. You are looking for certification support, and we at High Tech Design Safety specialize in certifying industrial machinery and semiconductor process equipment with more than 1,400 successful projects to our credit. Our process is designed to provide support and certification guidance throughout every step of the project, helping manufacturers simplify the path to market. Achieving NRTL certification is an important milestone, but certification is not the end of the conformity process. Once equipment is approved, manufacturers must continue demonstrating that production matches the configuration evaluated by the NRTL. Factory audits, documentation control, critical components, lists, and properly managed product changes all play a role in maintaining that approval. In this video, we'll explain what happens after NRTL certification and what manufacturers should understand about continued conformity. Before certification, equipment undergoes NRTL evaluation and testing against the applicable standards. If the NRTL identifies non-conformances, the manufacturer must address them. Evaluating or testing may also need to be repeated. Once the NRTL is satisfied that the equipment conforms, certification documentation and reports are provided. But now, there is another important question. Can the manufacturer consistently build production equipment that matches the approved product? That is where factory oversight begins. The NRTL process continues with an initial factory audit. During this audit, the NRTL reviews the factory's quality systems and manufacturing processes. The goal is to verify that production equipment is being built according to the NRTL reports and critical components lists, or CCLs. When the NRTL is satisfied that the factory conforms, an approval to mark letter and associated reports can be provided. This authorization allows qualifying new production to bear the applicable approval marks. Approval to mark is an important transition for the manufacturer. Once authorization has been received, new production can bear the approval marks and be marketed as approved. However, this approval does not apply retroactively to past production. Manufacturers therefore need to maintain clear control over when authorization begins and which units are manufactured under the approved configuration. Factory oversight does not stop after the initial audit. Ongoing factory audits may occur 2 to 4 times per year. During these audits, the NRTL continues reviewing the factory's quality systems and processes. It also verifies that production equipment continues to match the NRTL reports and CCLs. This means certification documentation cannot simply be filed away after approval. It remains an active reference for manufacturing the approved product. Throughout the certification process, the physical equipment and its documentation need to remain consistent. Critical components should match the CCL, schematics should reflect the equipment being produced, labels and nameplates should align with the approved documentation. This consistency must continue throughout production. When the equipment and its certification documents begin to diverge, continued conformity can be put at risk. If an ongoing audit confirms that the factory continues to conform, the NRTL issues a report. If discrepancies are found, the NRTL can identify the issues and require corrective action. Significant errors can have more serious consequences, including a stop marking order. This is why continued conformity should be part of normal production management rather than something manufacturers only think about when the next audit approaches. Certified products rarely remain completely unchanged throughout their production life. Components can become unavailable, designs can evolve, engineering improvements may be introduced. For NRTL-listed equipment, those changes need to be properly managed. Changes to the approved product are handled with the NRTL through the Notice of Amendment process, and the NRTL should be notified before those changes are made. A component substitution or design revision may appear minor from an engineering or purchasing perspective, but it can affect the approved configuration. Before implementing a change, manufacturers should consider how it could affect conformity. The post-certification process can be viewed as an ongoing cycle: certification, initial factory audit, approval to mark, production, ongoing factory audits, controlled product changes, and continued conformity. The objective is not simply to produce one compliant sample. It is to maintain the equipment, documentation, components, and manufacturing processes that support the product's approval throughout production. High-Tech Design Safety supports manufacturers throughout the conformity and certification process. This includes design conformity support, design reviews, technical conformity details, solutions for conformance issues, technical file and report preparation, and coordination with NRTLs. By keeping conformity connected to engineering, documentation, component selection, and production, manufacturers can be better prepared for both ongoing factory audits and future product changes. NRTL certification is an important achievement, but maintaining that certification requires continued attention. Factory audits help verify that production remains consistent with the approved configuration. Critical components lists and certification documentation remain important references, and product changes need to be managed before they reach production. By treating conformity as an ongoing process, manufacturers can better protect their approval and reduce the risk of unexpected issues during future audits. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and visit the HTDS website for additional resources covering NRTL certification, industrial equipment compliance, CE marking, semi-standards, and much more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.